This is LXBN TV, and I'm Colin O'Keefe. We're just coming out of the first session of Day 2 at Advocating 2012. It was a great session here with Josh King, VP of Business Development and the General Counsel with Avvo, on the ethical concerns of lawyers with social media. I thought it was really great because it addressed not all the things you need to worry about, but some of the rights that you have. And starting off with that, what is commercial language? You touched on this a lot, but what is commercial language, and why is that important to consider when we're talking about lawyers and social media?
I think lawyers, they look at the attorney advertising rules, and they see how broad they are and that they potentially apply to anything that they would say as a lawyer. But realistically, the attorney advertising rules only apply to commercial speech. They only apply to advertising. Commercial speech is defined as that which proposes a commercial transaction. So all the other things lawyers are writing about, whether it's their Twitter posts or their blog posts or the like, unless it turns into advertising, it's not subject to the attorney advertising rules.
And that's definitely something to consider when lawyers are writing blog posts, is that if you're going to be too self-promotional and too much like an advertisement, then you're going to start getting in trouble. But if you actually write naturally, then you don't have to worry about it. And second, we see a lot of this with our clients all our authors on LXBN, some in different states. But what states are really, you think, kind of the worst or really the most excessive when it comes to regulating social media? Yeah,
Colin, it's some of the states, particularly out here on the West Coast, are pretty progressive about it. But you look at states like Florida, Louisiana, Indiana, Kentucky, even New York, they really struggle with the concept that attorneys can advertise, that attorneys can communicate, that attorneys can blog, they can use social media, and they continuously try to impose these very restrictive rules. The good part is that there have been an increasing number of federal court cases that have consistently stricken down these abuses by these states. But certainly if you are in Florida, or if you're in South Carolina or New York, you do have to think about it in a little more depth. And I understand not every attorney wants to be the poster child to figure out whether the state bar rules are overreaching. But I would certainly encourage them to do so. Just always remember to file those lawsuits in federal court.
And lastly, this was a great question that came in. There are a number of vendors, with all our LXBN authors, we try to really empower them to do things themselves, and I think that's really the best way for lawyers. But you do see a lot of vendors who take over the social media strategy and really the entire almost online identity of some lawyers, really running their Twitter accounts or running their Facebook and sometimes even ghostwriting their blogs. Are there ethical concerns that go along with that when it's somebody else being the lawyer online?
Well, there certainly can be, and as some have said, outsource your marketing, outsource your ethics, and you got to worry about that because a lot of times they're not going to be anywhere as near as cognizant as you would be as an attorney. I also would say it's completely ineffective. It's an ineffective use of social media to let someone else do all the writing for you. I can see using a platform provider. I mean, you guys provide a great service, but again, what you're selling is that platform, and then your attorneys are writing the content. If you are outsourcing it, you are absolutely running the risk that someone's going to do something online that's going to, at a minimum, make you look bad as an attorney or as a legal marketer, and potentially even run afoul of your advertising rules.
Definitely. I think that's a great point. You outsource your marketing, you outsource your ethics. Once again, Josh King, VP of Business Development and also General Counsel with Avvo. For more video interviews with advocating presenters, exhibitors, and attendees, be sure to check us out at lxbn.lexblog.com. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Colin.